Check it out without a doubt, teachers I'm teaching, bringing new knowledge, oh yes, I'm reaching. Class in session, you learning them lessons, that's right my man, so check out this assessment. All these issues, man, we addressing, showing and improving, yes, we manifesting. Classroom, Hip Hop 101.
The Classroom, Hip Hop 101.
The Classroom, Hip Hop 101.
Peace, brothers and sisters. This is Half Pint from the Classroom Hip Hop 101 with Dr.Blizzy, and we are on location at St. John's University at the ERC 2020 conference, Ignite the Fire. Right now, we're in our segment, The Recess, and I'd like to thank my co-hosts, Alex and Heaven.
Hi, my name is Heaven Bernardo.
My name is Alex Rivera.
This is the Classroom Hip Hop 101 with Dr. Blizzy.
Well, I wrote a book called The Ethereal Hike. Excuse me. Basically, for people that don't know, our daughter passed away from suicide at 20. And I would say, like, her suicide just shed light to a bunch of dysfunction that had been going on and that existed in our family, in childhood, in our life. And I guess I wasn't even aware, to be honest. So after having written a book, it's just, I needed to release, I needed to get it out, I needed to be free.
I can tell you from Yonkers, it's a pretty rough place. You know what I mean? We went to school, we came apart. You had to have certain fights, certain places. You try to do your thing, but when I got into music, I think it depends on who the kid is and where he's at and where he's around.
Welcome back to the Classroom Hip Hop 101 with your host, Dr. Blizzy. We just participated in a phenomenal conference, the Educational Revolutionary Conference, and we were honored to have two very special guests. I have here to my right, Styles P and Adjua Styles.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us, Dr. Blizzy.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming and sharing your experience. In the conference, you know, you spoke a lot about having courageous conversations, and I know you have this book, and you're giving like a personal testimony, and so many people from the workshop were just inspired by what you said. What is your message to young mothers, and can you tell us a little bit more about the book?
Okay, well, the book is called The Ethereal Hike. It was conceived basically because I needed to be free, I needed to release, I needed to purge. Basically, our daughter passed away from suicide at 20, and just that situation alone was able to forced us to peel back a lot of layers and reflect in terms of, well, me, in terms of myself, my family. And, you know, I just think it's important to be honest and open with your feelings, what you're going through, good or bad, because people, for the most part, tend to focus on the great days and everything's amazing. But when the trauma happens or when certain things happen in your life, you don't really pay attention to how, you know, your life, I don't think some people pay attention to how they live their life after those experiences. So I think it's important to process, see how things affect you, understand how they affect you, what triggers you. And, you know, moving forward, you could kind of understand your behavior patterns and, you know, what makes you tick and why you do certain things. You know,
you say something that's so important. People only want to show the best side. And, you know, we have this culture, you know,
Right.
social media. Everybody wants to, you know, get as many likes as they
Right.
possibly can get and give this perception of that they're
Right.
living their best life.
Right.
You know, but you guys showed another side, which is now sparked a conversation around being open, being vulnerable, and connecting. How has it been received? You know, from others within the industry and the
I feel like
community.
it's been received well. I mean, our community, our peers. Everybody's in pain. Everybody wants to be, at some point, be able to be transparent or have someone that they can relate to, or at least know there's someone that understands where they're coming from. So for us, it's pretty much our duty, especially with her being an author and us having these stores. We have to be transparent with people. It's our pretty much duty to kind of be transparent and not worry about how you receive it. If people aren't receiving you with open arms, you don't worry about it. You just worry about those who do receive you with the open arms, and you keep it moving from there.
The interesting thing is, I feel like it's been a bit of a relief for people that we've just opened up a certain aspect, for conversation, so to speak, because people come out of the woodworks with things to talk about with us, which I don't think they would have ever felt comfortable saying certain things until we exposed certain things. We were willing to talk about certain things, which makes other people more willing.
Yeah.
So it was great.
Well,
it's a great, yeah.
Well, one of the things I thought of is that some people could have taken the approach like, well, you know what, I don't want to talk about that because people are going to judge me as a parent.
Definitely.
And then people are going to say, well, what did they do? Because that's the trend that people tend to do, not understanding that mental health is something that, it has nothing to do with your parenting skills.
Right.
It's something to do with mental health and getting healthy.
Right.
And we know in our community, we're not intentional about that. Right?
Yeah.
I think about some of your business ventures. It seems to all be built around health.
Yes.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Your model, right?
That's our model.
Can you talk to me? You got Farmacy for Life. You got Juices for Life. What is Farmacy for Life?
Farmacy for Life is the brainchild of my beautiful wife here.
Okay.
We sell black seed oil, oil of oregano, Irish sea moss, sour sap leaves. It's just black people don't go to the doctor enough or don't get health insurance enough. So you need preventative ways to make sure your immune system is up and you putting the right things in your body. Like if we don't run around telling everybody be plant-based, be vegan, but we just say implement fruits and vegetables and natural oils and things that'll cure you and work with your wellness in your body.
I like that approach, because vegans have a bad reputation.
Yeah, as obnoxious and know-it-alls.
Like the public relations side of that game got to get better, right?
That's why we make it our business to go. It's not a judgmental thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing to implement balance.
Sure.
Like we all, and anyway, people fall off whether you're working out or you're doing something. People fall off their wagon sometimes. You just want to feel comfortable and be in a place where it's people who care and you can kick it. We look at Juices for Life as cheers for healthy folks. So you could come in, get a fruit, get a veggie drink, get a wheatgrass, get a sea moss shake, get a smoothie, but you got a place and a foundation of people who care.
And Adjua, you
also
and
have a conversation.
Yeah, and you and I were talking off camera, and I was saying what's so powerful is that it's like it's what you're saying, but it's the lane that you're coming.
Right.
Hip hop, you're coming through the culture, you're coming through a vehicle where people can understand, and you're making it cool to be healthy.
Yeah. It is cool because it really is cool. It's like these are the foundations we were raised off in our household. Like you know what I mean? It's eat right, do healthy stuff, try to stay okay. Once you move out and you start doing things on your own, it's easy to get caught up in the fast food life and moving around and eating the wrong things. So we just doing what we basically going back to the roots.
All right. So I have one last question. In the presentation, we kind of got into, I think, Adjua, you were talking about, I don't know if it was you, Styles, but you were talking about kind of like we look back at our family history. We look back at dysfunction.
We as people, we got to care about our community, our family, these kids. So you got to get everybody. If you're in pain, you got to tell your kid. You got to tell your brother. You got to tell your neighbor. You got to tell your friend. Like we don't really check on each other enough. Like before we even get to these groups and finding other mental health classes and all that, you got to really question yourself. Are you doing enough for yourself, your family, your neighbors? Are you really checking in? Are we really asking each other the right questions?
Right? And kind of almost from a generational thing, and then we've arrived to the place of being intentional and understanding it. And I think in many of our families. I can just look into my own family. I can
Right.
decide,
Yeah.
I know, I see where my dysfunction
Right,
lies
right.
and how it plays into my
Right.
relationships and how
Yeah.
I have to think
Right.
about those things. Can you just kind of reiterate that? Like what were you saying about like being intentional about looking back so that you can understand where we are?
Well, for me, I was, just to relate it to the book, for me, well, when my daughter passed, I immediately reflected on myself because I had the same thoughts at the same age. So now I'm like, okay, this is just not a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit more to this. And then I started thinking about, and doing some more research within the family and finding out that things are not just exclusive. They're like, it's more of a pattern of certain behaviors with certain things. So I don't even think a lot of people are aware of what they're living with on a day-to-day, or until certain things happen, and then they're either stigmatized or they're ridiculed, and then it forces you to kind of delve into what the issue is. Like with my daughter, after that, the suicide had allowed me to really, focus on the dysfunction, because I really didn't know it existed that much. Like I knew some things were crazy, and I knew, some things were off, but I didn't know it was as bad as it was. And now it's like to the point where I want to make it so present, and I want to make a discussion about it, and others don't. But I want to change, and that's what I say about living in truth and being open and honest and living your truth, because your truth most of the times is will keep you the sanest, the most peaceful, healthy. Your truth, not anyone else's truth. Your truth.
Well, I think
So,
I'm learning
yeah.
a lot from this, and I'm reflecting on my
Yeah.
own personal self. So,
Yeah.
I just want to ask, are you, like, how can schools get in touch with you? If somebody wants to reach out to you guys and have you come, and maybe do a book signing, come talk to you, like, what is the pathway to reach you, and as it relates to that?
I'm the guy. I'm easy to
Okay.
find.
Well, we have,
Like everything
bookings,
starts from
we
we
have,
have Style Speed
social
booking, we have
medias.
Hovain, we have a lovely Tara over there
Adjua
that
Styles
you
booking.
Adjua
Yeah,
Styles
she's
So
booking.
we got Adjua
Yeah.
Styles booking,
Styles P booking.
Styles P
Instagram,
booking.
there's-
So look out for them. Styles P booking, Adjua Styles booking. Get them to come out to your school to talk to your community about this very important subject. I'm getting the rap. So this is Dr. Blake, Classroom Hip Hop 101 with Dr. Blizzy. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Thank you.